Let's talk about flared gas Bitcoin miner Crusoe Energy raises $350 million Series C. The company is also bringing on additional credit facilities of up to $155 million US dollars. Crusoe Energy, the company that pioneered Bitcoin mining by using wasted natural gas as a power source, raised $505 million in a new funding round to expand its operations throughout the US and internationally. The Denver, Colorado-based miner raised $350 million in a Series C equity offering led by climate technology venture capital firm G2 Venture Partners, according to a statement. Crusoe also closed credit facilities expandable up to $155 million with SVB Capital, Spark Fund, and Generate Capital. Quote, the capital provided in this Series C financing unlocks Crusoe's ability to execute on key elements of our vision. Specifically, it enables us to expand and diversify our energy sources, computing workloads, and vertical integration, end quote, said Chase Lockmiller, CEO and co-founder of Crusoe Energy. The company will use the new funds to expand its digital flare mitigation technology across the US and internationally, as well as launch a new cloud computing platform called Crusoe Cloud, where energy-intensive high-performance computing systems will be powered by flare gas and renewable energy sources. Crusoe Cloud will be launched publicly later this year, Lockmiller said. Crusoe, which recently was recognized for its innovative solution to generating energy by the World Bank's Global Gas Flaring Reduction Initiative report, has several mobile sites across the U.S. Crusoe's customers include Devon Energy, Kraken Oil and Gas, Canadian oil firm Enerplus, and others. Notably, Crusoe is reportedly working on a pilot project with Exxon to use flare gas at the energy giant's North Dakota oil wells to power Bitcoin mining operations. In the flaring process, excess natural gas is burned off in the atmosphere as part of oil drilling operations. It has become standard industry practice because of the lack of transportation infrastructure. The process is under environmental scrutiny, however, U.S. President Joe Biden pledged to cut methane emissions from oil and gas operations. Once again, when we talk about this stuff, especially as it pertains to flare gas, I want to remind you guys that the positives to proof of work mining and Bitcoin has a lot less to do with total energy consumption and reduction of energy waste. And I think it's really important when you start getting into environmental discussions with people surrounding Bitcoin to point out that they are A, incentivized to move to more renewable energy sources, and B, they've already proven to reduce energy waste and be a good store of energy. These are the lines of discussion, and hopefully we cover enough on this channel so that you can see when these things are happening and you can have these discussions with people in the sauna, at the water cooler, whatever it is. When they go, well, I heard Bitcoin is bad for the environment, you can start to educate the masses on this sort of thing, right? And I think it's really important. So using flared gas to mine digital assets has emerged as a popular trend among both the crypto mining and energy industries. The process helps energy companies reduce their flaring footprint as a plan to reach net zero emissions by 2050, laid out by the International Energy Agency, IEA, would require all non-emergency flaring to be eliminated globally by 2030. Meanwhile, crypto miners and data centers, which use tremendous amounts of energy, are capable to source cheap and sustainable energy for their operations. Quote, if you're utilizing energy that's going to just go into waste anyway, you might as well use it, end quote, Valkyrie Chief Investment Officer Stephen McClurg told CoinDesk, adding that he is, quote, a big fan of using flared natural gas when asked if this source of energy is among the best sustainable energy used by miners. Valkyrie launched a Bitcoin miners exchange traded fund earlier this year, which invests 80% of its net assets in miners that derive a minimum of 50% of their profit from Bitcoin mining and primarily use renewable energy. The funding comes at a time when capital markets for crypto miners have somewhat dried up, and miners are getting creative in raising capital for their growth, including leveraging their existing mining rigs and mine Bitcoins to secure debt. Quote, this capital will enable Crusoe to deploy digital flare mitigation at greater scale, to use its solution to accelerate renewable energy deployment, and to continue innovating its industry-leading technology, said Ben Kortlang, partner at G2 Venture. Quote, after a deep dive into flare mitigation and modular data center technologies, we concluded that Crusoe is the clear leader in scale, operational excellence, talent, vision, and proven commitment to environmental standards. Crusoe raised $128 million in Series B financing in April last year, led by Valor Equity Partners. The new raise would be among one of the largest funding rounds for a privately held crypto mining company. In February, Compute North, a provider of sustainable infrastructure for cryptocurrency mining, closed a $385 million round that includes an $85 million Series C fundraise and a $300 million debt financing. Another private miner, Gem Mining, raised $200 million in institutional capital in December. Meanwhile, among publicly traded miners, Riot Blockchain filed a prospectus in April for the ongoing sale of up to $500 million in shares, otherwise known as an at-the-market offering. A laundry list of investors joined Crusoe's Series C. Returning investors include Valor Equity Partners, Polychain Capital, Bain Capital Ventures, Winklevoss Capital, and more. Meanwhile, new investors include Inclusive Capital Partners, Tau Capital, Castle Island Ventures, and actor Robert Downey Jr.'s Footprint Coalition Ventures, among others. So lots of investment going into this. Obviously, this is the push that you need, especially if there's going to be a push to have, net zero emissions from flare gas. If you aren't going to be allowed to transport it, right? If you're not going to be allowed to build the infrastructure to transport it and accommodate for it, then you're going to need to get rid of it at the source. And it looks like Bitcoin mining and data centers, basically technology in general, is going to be able to help alleviate a lot of this. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.